And the research that we do or participate in is ultimately aimed at trying to meet the needs of our customers to the best of our abilities. So diversity of crops has always been an important thing for Albert Lea Seed. If you go back and you look at the original seed house catalogs from 1923, you'll see all kinds of things. It's not just alfalfa, it's mangled beets, it's red clover, it's other crops that farmers used at that time because they didn't just grow corn and soybeans. And I think we're returning to that in the United States. Small grains are, in my opinion, more important than cover cropping in diversified farming because they're a way for farmers to actually have some revenue on an acre, where cover crops, of course, if it's a real cover crop, doesn't create any revenue. And they also, if they're winter small grains, are allowing a farmer to have living roots in the ground over the course of the winter. The diversity that's provided by a small grain, whether it's a winter grain or a spring grain, interrupts that corn and soybean cycle that we see so much of in the upper Midwest, or in other places it's a wheat soybean cycle, or maybe even a cotton soybean cycle. So oats, wheat, and barley and rye are important in a diversified rotation because they break up pest cycles and they do amazing things for soil health as well as the diversity of the landscape. That diversity on the landscape is something that many consumer packaged goods companies are looking for. So if you're a large company like a Danone, you've made a commitment to your customers who want to buy healthy yogurt, that the milk that's making that yogurt is coming from a landscape that's healthy. And a diversified landscape is part of the health that they're selling to their customers. So we license small grains from large breeding programs from around the world and also smaller breeding programs as well as universities throughout the United States. We're looking for the oats, wheat, barley, rye varieties that will best meet the needs of our customers. And we don't have our own evaluation program for small grains. We utilize the university programs. Sometimes we'll license varieties and enter them in their trials. And then, of course, we just look at the varieties that they're releasing as well. We license, say, Rushmore oats from South Dakota State University. Every time we sell a bag, we pay a royalty back. We produce the seed with a local farmer or sometimes farmers that are farther away. But all that seed is produced under certified seed standard production. Sometimes they'll come to us. So, for example, Sumo Oats is a great example of an oat that really we're the only ones that ever sold Sumo Oats because Dr. Melanie Cafe realized that, hey, this is an oat that organic farmers would really like, and it's kind of a niche market, so we're not going to broadly release it, but maybe Albert Lea Seed would be interested. So they came to us, we licensed the variety, and we've had really good success with that particular variety of oats specifically for organic farmers. One thing about small grains is that since large companies view them with suspicion as not a great way to make money, they don't pump a lot of money into small grain research. So a lot of the small grain research is happening at the university level. And we have not only licensed and paid royalties on all the small grains that we sell from universities, we also directly support them. So we've supported the University of Minnesota research program into winter rye with a direct cash payment to help them evaluate all the varieties of open pollinated winter rye that are available, not only for yield, but also for height, for maturity, for straw production, and other things. We also supported Dr. Kevin Smith at the University of Minnesota in his winter barley breeding program with direct cash payments. We donate seed to other university programs around the country and sometimes make direct payments to things like Practical Farmers of Iowa and some of their research. And all of that is with the aim of not only coming up with better varieties, but also knowing more about them so that farmers can make good decisions about when to plant, how deep to plant, what planting population to use, etc. That sort of basic fundamental agronomic research has to be done for farmers to be successful growing small grains. I think that what we bring to the product development of small grains is not our own breeding program, but really looking at it from a farmer's lens of what is going to perform best in certain applications. That might be actual grain production, what's the highest yielding oat, but it's also about what that farmer is doing with the oat on the other end. Are they using that oat for forage, or are they trying to sell it into a mill for actual grain milling? Because those are two very different things. Since we have real direct daily contact with farmers throughout the United States, and we're hearing what their needs are. We're looking for those kinds of different things. I think what we bring is the lens of what's really going to help farmers the most, and that's how we're looking at new varieties that are getting released.